Nemophila with their brand new mini album Gozo, and we are continuing with the next track on our track by track listen through, and this song is called, let me check, it is called Namas. Now, it's an S vowel U on the end, which is making me think this isn't a Japanese, it's not meant in a Japanese way. Namas, plural, Western word maybe. I don't know. What does namas mean? Maybe you can let me know by telling me in the comments. But one thing that I do know is so far we're on track 4 of a 5-track listen through. And the last song's called Pump It Up, which makes me think it's definitely going to be high energy. It's been high energy so far. So I'm wondering, is Namas going to be more high energy? And is this going to be 5 tracks of non-stop high energy? Or is Namas going to take us in a slightly different direction? Who knows? We're going to find out together, though. We're going to listen to this one. And I'm really intrigued by what their take is on this, because obviously we know this is like their first fully self-written, self-produced release. So I'm intrigued to see what we get from this. But anyway, Namas from Gozo by Nemophila. Let's check it out and talk a little bit more afterwards. Ooh. Much more mid-tempo straight away. Much more of a headbanger. I did like that little. Yeah, I'm liking that. Mid-tempo head bob. More cowbell. Tamu's got a cowbell. Nice! I love that walking bass line. It flowed so beautifully into the heavy bit. Just walked you down. This is very old school style riffing, but they're balancing it off with these twists and turns. It feels so rewarding because you have no idea if it's about to switch any moment. That's so pretty. But now I'm on tenterhooks because I'm like, where are we going to go? So this is kind of like the refrain, the chorus. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Like, first of all, I have to give this a lot of credit straight off the bat for the fact that, as I mentioned, the first 3 songs take us in a pretty high energy direction, and I'm okay with keeping the energy up. That's great, but you have to kind of like change the way that you have, you can do high energy in lots of different ways. You can do high energy by doing a roaring fast song. You can do a song that's kind of breathlessly quick, breathlessly changing, or you can do a song like this where the energy is delivered, instead of like little rabbit punches, it's delivered in big, slow, one at a time kind of hits. And that's what I feel like this does. It transfers us over to a different type of high energy music, which is good. It gives more variety. And straight from the get-go, this is a really kind of mid tempo, almost a bit low tempo, kind of head banging bounce. And of course, you have the risk at that if you start at that tempo of like starting with a really good headbang, but it can become a bit monotonous if you don't switch it up. And this song does a lot to switch it up. I did like, straight away, I like the little use of the little ching, the little bell percussion in there. What's the name for that? It's a proper name for that, and I can't think of it. It's kind of got the Christmassy kind of like a reindeer sleigh bell sound to it, but it's not that. But you started off with that. There was the great use. I love the fact that I think Tammy was having a lot of fun with this anyway because the cowbell was in there. More cowbell, anyone? Yes, indeed. This definitely had a lot of fun going on in the percussion. You could tell that that was just. Yeah, there's a lot of fun in just making this a really good headbanger. But then it switched up and went into that kind of beautiful part where the bass was just walking up and then holding. And then at the same time, this lovely, gentle, sort of low distortion guitar picking, and the vocals become much more chilled out. That was great. Then it goes heavy again. Now, the interesting thing is when we had that melodic bit first of all, I just kind of assumed that was like the... not to say that songs always have to have a chorus, but the vast majority of songs have a refrain, a chorus, a thing that they go back to, which is kind of like the payoff to the song. You have the tension in the verses, the build up, the energy, and then the chorus is the bit where you pay that off either by singing along or shouting along, or just music settles into that sort of, it's the bit where the music's supposed to make you feel like you've kind of hit where you should be. And so in a way, I felt when we got to that relaxed part, I was like, oh, this is interesting. We're going to start heavy, but we're going to have like a relaxed chorus. Okay. So then we go into the heavy part again. And I'm thinking, okay, any minute we're going to switch back to that melodic part and have like the nice, beautiful thing. But instead we go to that really very cool, weird sort of skews the stereotypes, but that Zen space. It comes to become very chilled out and all these spaced out sounds. Thinking, okay. Are we going to build from that into the chorus? No, I was thinking we'd maybe get that previous melodic bit back, but now maybe it'll come back heavily with the sung melody. But instead it goes straight back to the heavy bit from before, where it's the scream vocals again. And of course, I know that my opinions on scream vocals are always going to cause a certain degree of disagreement amongst like people who are more metal only kind of fans, because I know for them, like the screams are kind of the whole point. But for me, like scream vocals, they can work, but a lot of the time that's the building up the tension. I don't really want the refrain to be a scream unless it's a real super catchy sort of chant along kind of thing. This is kind of where Brainwash worked, is that you had like when you got that chorus, you felt like you could shout and chant along with her. This one, I don't feel that so much. It just kind of feels like it goes back to the heavy place. And so my only feeling is that the end of the song didn't feel like we got a crescendo or a payoff. It just didn't feel like it wrapped up. It just felt like it went back to where it was at the beginning and stopped, which is why I kind of felt like it didn't feel to me like the song, it ended on a little bit of a, okay, where did we go? We kind of had a couple of left turns, but we never really arrived anywhere kind of place, which is interesting because I think a lot of the other songs on this album thus far have really felt like they've built up to an ending, and you kind of build up to it and you get like that payoff right at the end, which is what, again, most songs do. So for me, interesting different direction, and I respect that, and especially considering we're listening to this in the context of the album, I doubly respect it because I like anything that gives variation and interesting colour to an album. So if I was listening to this on its own, I would probably be like, great start, bit of a missed opportunity, kind of wandered and ended. But listening to this in an album where I already know they haven't given it a music video and haven't put it forward as a single or anything, I think it's like a nice album track, again, which is kind of what it's being pitched as, where it gives you something different and then just at the end continues you on your journey. Now, considering that this was a song that had a lot of energy but didn't seem to pay it off particularly, I'm really excited and hoping that as a result, Pump It Up is going to be that point. I mean, just the name as you're setting yourself up with a name like Pump It Up. I'm expecting to be quite pumped up. It's like, okay, so we finished Namas with a little bit of a feeling of just being slightly like, okay, this song's like giving us a lot of energy, hasn't quite given us much to do with it. So now I need Pump It Up to come in, scoop us up, and just fucking throw us over the finish line. So, and that's what I feel like the name is suggesting it's going to do. So high expectations for the last song. Let's check this one out together. As always, I'm trying to put these out in fairly frequent succession. If the next video doesn't come out like a few hours later or a day later, it will be soon. And obviously, if you're watching this a few days after it's already been posted, then go check. It's probably already out. I'll try to remember to put a playlist somewhere in the description box below. But if I haven't, apologies. That might just mean I haven't finished doing the reactions yet. Anyway, just so you know, that is my that's my thought of Namas. Get in the comments and tell me what you think. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one, at least for now. Ciao, ciao.